of resistance against the powers that be, primarily megacorporations like Militech or Biotechnica, though a special place in hell was reserved for Arasaka, the Japanese arms manufacturing Zaibatsu that held the most influence over Night City. The kinds of people who frequented the Atlantis felt that corporations had hijacked the future and turned people into consumer slaves and ironically deprived the two things capitalism loved the most, freedom and choice. These people called themselves edge runners. They positioned themselves against the corporate world order. They declared their own freedom and opposition to the status quo, but deprived of any peaceful way to meaningfully change what they called the system. They reached for more radical methods of self-expression, and these people were no strangers to violence. Excerpts from A History of Nomads by B.B. Pyers. The First Nomad Code. Protect and 1. Protect and respect your clan, especially your family. 2. You are worth as much as your word. 3. Share with others in your clan. 4. Respect the privacy and well-being of your clan. 5. Never put your clan in danger. 6. Always take honest pay for honest work. The New Nomad Code. Protect your family and clan in that order. Do not steal, but in fact, they were the people who dawned the age of nomads. Natural catastrophes, crops ravaged by bioplagues, armed conflicts, and martial law allowing corporations to speculate and privatize land. All this forced them into a life on the road. The first clans recognized as nomadic were the Aldecados and the Jodes, followed shortly by Snake Nation, Thelis Nation, Folk Nation, Blood Nation, and Metacorp, a total of 7 nations. The nomad nations are divided into tribes, which are subdivided even further into subclans. The nomad nations are divided into tribes, which are subdivided even further into clans and families. A family typically numbers between 10 and 100 people, while the biggest nations can reach up to 1 million. At first, nomad activity was seen as anarchistic and subversive, mostly, as you can imagine, by corporations who quickly realized they won't be able to control them. The biggest irony in all this is that it's thanks to the nomads that our cities were rebuilt after the wars and catastrophes that marked the first half of the 21st century. After all, families came together to build, not to destroy. Corporations. Wow, yeah, fuck these guys. Crops, natural catastrophes, bioplagues, conflicts, martial law, privatized land, nations are seen as bad people. How are we the bad guys in this story? The Unification War for Gonks. The Unification War is the most recent armed conflict to take place in North America since the collapse, lasting from January 2069 to June 2070. The beginning of 2069 to the summer of 2070. 1 year. Although the Unification War is formally recognized as a war between the new United States of America and the governments of the Free States, Most scholars also classify the conflict as a corporate war. It is well known that the NUSA was backed by Militech hardware, personnel, and other resources, whereas the Free States received significant yet tacit support of the Arasaka Corporation. The bloodiest battle in the Unification War was the Battle of Ridgecrest. In just one day, at least 3,078 people were reportedly killed. North California and South California were on the opposite sides of the war, allied with the Free States and the NUSA, respectively, while Night City maintained a position of neutrality. The Unification War ended when all parties signed the Treaty of Unification in Arvin, South California. Both sides claimed victory, the Free States emphasizing they had preserved their independence, and the NUSA boasting they were closer than ever to reunifying a divided America people. The end of the Unification War, however, was not the end to the conflict at large. The leading AI analytics software predicts another hot war will likely break out by 2080. 74% confidence. Jesus Christ. Articles. New brain dances. New release brain dances. What's up, BD maniacs? Hungry for a new emo rush? Then check out the latest word for the freshest BDs on the market. Foreign body. The body is everything. There is nothing else. It is you, but it is also just a tool for your mind to interact with the world. But what would happen if this tool tried to live its own life? What if it tried to kill you? Though not particularly original addition to the thriller genre, this braindance featuring Luke Pollard is still a solid experiential ride. The fear of disobedient implants has been around since pirates were walking around on peg legs. Well, maybe not that long. As a result, the trope has been pervasive in film, braindance, and urban legend alike. Still, Foreign Body borrows some of the genre's best elements while still incorporating just enough new stuff to the mix to keep it interesting. After all, it's not every day you see the world from the perspective of a sentient arm. Maxwell's Rehab. This braindance season has been chock full of horror, but this one stands out from the rest. The always phenomenal Maxwell Ramirez is pushed to the brink of cyberpsychosis so he can relive his return to normalcy. The title offers a tone of optimism, but don't let that fool you. You will relive Maxwell's slip into psychosis, the heartbreak of his wife, and the gradual reintegration into a world that is now far different from how he left it. This BD is a must relive of the season, but it's not for the faint of heart. Badlands Raid. At last, a BD for those looking for something a little lighter. Badlands Raid is a remake of the 2023 classic, which was an innovative tour de force of the time. For those of you unfamiliar, the plot revolves around an ordinary, boring guy who accidentally gets tangled up in a Nomad ambush on a Zeta Tech convoy. I won't spoil it because even though the main plot hasn't changed in 54 years, most people these days probably don't know the ending. What I will say is this: the remake's creators have introduced a few modern twists into the story that should make for a pleasant surprise to classic lovers and newbies alike. The Relic. Why all the fuss? For years, experts in the field of cybernetics, neurology, and psychology have been desperately trying to merge human consciousness with silicon. Until now, their efforts have been unsuccessful, though scientists have managed to create artificial intelligence that can compare or indeed surpass human intellect. Copying the human eye has remained beyond our capabilities. Attempts to do so have merely resulted in sophisticated chatbots, digital beings capable of mimicking human speech and mannerisms but devoid of self-awareness. Today, experts from Arasaka announced a breakthrough. Their newest project, dubbed The Relic, allows human minds to be copied onto shards no larger than a cred chip. What's more, the shard can be slotted into one's neuroport, allowing its user to hear and see digitized personality constructs. Sadly, I haven't been able to personally examine the specifications of this remarkable piece of technology. Access to the relic is heavily restricted by Arasaka, and only a small select group of testers are allowed to participate in the program. Unsurprisingly, these testers are among the wealthiest and most influential people in the world, precisely the kinds of people Arasaka would like to have in its pocket. For the ordinary consumers reading this, don't expect the relic to hit mass markets anytime soon. Good to know. So, you get a person's mind onto a chip, put it into yours, and then you see them, talk to them, and everything. Emergency on demand. How did it happen? When and why did we as a society decide that human life is a commodity, a luxury? My mother passed away at 45. She still had decades of life to live until it was all stolen from her by common pneumonia. If she had held even the cheapest trauma team policy, she could have been cured within an hour. But she couldn't afford it. My mother died 5 months before her scheduled appointment with our family practitioner. The idea of privatized healthcare is deeply ingrained in our public psyche. Already in 2020, there was a widespread consensus that €500 a month was a fair price for trauma antibodies, intravenous probes, the list goes on. Emergency airlifts using modern AVs equipped with cryotonic chambers, they have those too. The difference then, they don't leave their people to die on the streets, at the store, in their homes. They don't force anyone to purchase their lives from a corporation as if they're the ones who own it. Public healthcare isn't something unachievable utopia. It is a reality. Trauma Team, on the other hand, treats its policyholders as both potential patients to be treated and potential products to be bought. They save lives only because it's profit in it. A saved life is another returning customer. Client death can also bring in physical gains in form of organ and implant resale, though of course in regulated smaller sums. An emergency care provider can't afford to give its managers reasons to deliberately kill off its clientele based for short-term windfalls. Surely, you ask, these medical professionals, are they also guided by their Hippocratic oaths? Please. So you gotta pay a fuck ton of money if you're about to die, or if you have a sickness. You can't even like fucking go to the hospital. It's crazy. Cyberware usage and its side effects. Many people believe we live in a time when impossible has become an obsolete term. Ripper docs can replace nearly any part of the human body with artificial implants, from your big toe portions of the nervous system, from your big toe to the portions of your nervous system. My years in trauma team, however, taught me that the impossible is still very much possible. Even now, as we enter the twilight of the 21st century, we as medical professionals have not been able to eliminate all the side effects that come from incorporating cybernetic elements into our bodies. Of course, everyone is familiar with the mental disorder most commonly referred to as cyberpsychosis, but it doesn't end there. Although advances in medical science for the greater part of the century have reduced its incidence to a minimum, cyberware rejection can still occur in a small subset of the population. These unlucky few can experience a range of complications, but the following are the most prevalent. 1. Immune response. The body rejects the implant, causing scar tissue to continue growing to the point that it causes pain and inflammation of the surrounding tissue, as well as possible interference with the tech's electrical circuits. 2. Psychological effects. Neurological implants have the potential to cause unpredictable change in the brain. Possible side effects include depression, apathy, hallucinations, and sudden increases in addictive behaviors such as gambling. 3. Implant overdependence. Long-term use of certain synthetic body part replacements can change the brain's chemistry to make it accustomed to a particular type of implant. There are reported cases of permanent blindness after patients attempted to replace their crociooptical implants with different models. In face of these known risks, what should our outlook be as consumers and medical professionals? To deny ourselves To deny ourselves cybernetic enhancements on the 0.5% chance we could lose our vision forever, or gamble away our life savings at the casino? The clear answer is no. Cyberware technology has elevated human biology to the point where these what-if arguments serve against our best interests. The best advice I can offer for minimizing your risk is to read the techno-medical profiles for all cyberware you intend to purchase before you install it. So it's all on the person. They don't care. They just let you know what could happen. Pain editors and mortality rates. Introduction. The implant known widely as the pain editor is cyberware that reduces or evenly entirely eliminates pain. It has enjoyed unwavering popularity for years among certain articles in Night City, the most devoted and arguably most valuable of which is Mercenaries. It is using this test group that Zetatech conducted the following research. The pain editor is a neural coprocessor that inhibits the signals sent from the nociceptors to the parietal lobe of the brain, thus preventing feeling of the pain in the user. Some models also reduce symptoms of fatigue. The beneficial effects caused by the pain editor are in some ways similar to symptoms of hypothesia, including greater resistance to physical forms of torture and the ability to ignore pain from severe wounds, which can allow the user to continue to perform beyond normal human limitations for a brief period. However, some studies have reported that the pain editor can yield a range of undesirable side effects. For example, in the heat of battle, some users are unaware of the severity of their wounds, which causes them to continue fighting without realizing they are dying and require immediate medical attention. The statistics support the theory that a lack of negative reinforcement may cause users to continue fighting, when the rational strategy would be to retreat and escape death. Since 2020, the mortality rate of pain editor owners is above 60%. Holy shit. In this report, I address the question of how to better protect Zetatech clients from avoidable death while using our pain editors. I can't even read that. Now we are back. Our home is in the district of Watson. We have Little China, Kabuki, Northside, Arasaka Waterfront, Morro Rock, Night City International and Translunar. We have Haywood, City Center, Westbrook, Santo Domingo, Pacifica, the Badlands. Wow, man. Wow. Some craftables here. Nice. Time to get some sleep. Sucks that I don't have the save to show it. I thought I had it. It's so fucking weird. But at least, like, I wonder if, like, I could, oh shit. Maybe like 30 minutes? What's 30 minutes look like? Oh, fuck's sakes. Never mind. God fucking damn it, dude.
Whoa, V! You get any sleep? No matter. Time you got up.
I think I might have caught something when I jacked into that Corpo's biomon. Dunno, neurovirus or... Need to see Vic. Let him tell me what's got my head reeling, my stomach churning.
Okay, let me take you. I brought you a ride. Throw on some threads, meet me downstairs.
If you're on the hunt for chrome, you won't find a better ripper than Victor. Well, alright. Maybe you could, but you sure as hell can't afford them, S.A. Not like Vic can afford you either. But you're lucky he's got a soft spot. Says you've got a good heart like him. But before we pay old Vic a visit, we gotta decide what comes next. Whenever we go see Wakako and walk into that pachinko salon of hers, I get this weird, tingling feeling on the back of my neck. I don't know, V, she's all kind of weird. Anyway, she promised a special reward for this job with Sandra Dorset. All we have to do is go see her on Jig Jig Street. Got the sights on this job. Let's have breakfast. Burrito, water. Let's see, I'll wear my Nomad fit today. Out of 3 in my Cyber deck. Alright. Not bad. Nice.
you get monetized, I'll be first member and first super chat.
Hey, thanks for that, Ryan. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. I'm just gonna be streaming on YouTube for like the next year again.
Hey, V.
Regina Jones.
Regina Jones here. If you're looking for work in Watson, give me a call.
How'd you find me? How'd you even know my name?
I know where to gather my intel. Could even call me a collector. Later, V.
Fucking gone, piece of shit.
Kid might be easier to get verified.
I can't. Kick's not available on this. Maybe when I get my PC back, I'll stream from my PC.